morning. Trying to force myself into a shorter, force myself back to a shorter vlog. I was trying to listen to the NPR morning news update at the 8:30 and finally got to it, and it was just boring. I'm having a rough weekend on my face. Fortunately, this one appeared Friday night, so it's actually mostly healed and should probably just fully disappear in another day or so. And there's this one over here. Pinballs, why? There's a cheesecake. There was a cheesecake involved, an entire cheesecake. Friday, I don't want to talk about it. Let's see, touching gadgets, that's the iPad Nano, that's done. I got the box sitting in my back seat, taking that into work, set it up somewhere. It's a prop memorabilia. I should give that box away. That's what I should do. Maybe. Give away the iPad Nano box. It always amazes me when I sit down to, when I finish, I suppose, how much effort it takes to edit those videos, to edit a Touching Gadgets episode. Or maybe this one was a little special because it was so narrative heavy instead of dialogue heavy. Usually there's a very short narrative. That's the formula in the first three episodes. There's a very short narrative at the beginning, and then it's a lot of back and forth in dialogue. And then in the third episode, I added in a lot more of those product beauty shots to mix into the dialogue. Well, this episode is very narrative heavy, and then you just have the dialogue as part of the horrible comment section. And it was, I think it took at least 12 hours, probably more. No, it was probably less than that. I wasn't editing for 12 straight hours. But when you think about it, a 4-minute video, just the amount of time that goes into putting that whole damn thing together, it is exhausting. There were a few times when I just had to get up and just shake my head or something because I was going cross-eyed looking at that stuff. It's exhausting, and but fortunately, at least in terms of this episode, in terms of all the episodes, at least of Touching Gadgets, but especially this one, it's gonna be worth it. It's not that I have high hopes, I have high expectations. I think this video is going to play extraordinarily well, and until the iPad Nano exists, if it even does exist, it will continue to play well. I think this is going to be a big moneymaker, and that's good. That's good. I'm just sitting here knowing that the very first episode of all of Touching Gadgets are highly viewed, and that's just fantastic. It is such a relief after all this time to finally be able to know I can create something, put it out there, and know that it's going to capture a very large audience. Original Touching Gadgets is almost a 50-50. It almost has a 50-50 split on how much the likes and dislikes. So that's a little. I'm not even looking at it as half the people who like the video, who like the video are disliking the video. It's just that right now, I think as of this morning or yesterday, it had 71 likes on it, and those are all natural. I don't have, then like 64 dislikes, but I've never had a video that naturally had 71 likes on it. So 71 people saw that video and didn't hate it. 64 people saw the video and hated it, but I whatever. It's more interesting and more exciting to know that I am making the connection. There are people out there that get what I'm doing with that. Aside from, and that's the aside from the fact that it is a really good moneymaker. But whatever. That's I don't need to spend too much time talking about that. I'm excited about it. Obviously, I'm happy about it. It's justification, retribution, a little bit. But it's done. It's done. I have a noodle in my head for the next episode, and I'm really appreciating. I'm starting to really appreciate the process. Probably need another. I shot the video on Saturday and edited it on Sunday. It was a very busy weekend, very productive weekend. I don't think I lounged for more than 20 minutes. Well, I'm sure it was more than that, but it didn't feel like that. It was a very, very active weekend. But I shot the video for Touching Gadgets on Saturday, edited on Sunday, and had previously produced all of the audio. Well, up to the censor bits. Those censor, I don't know. The more you censor a video, the funnier it is, I think. But I guess Jimmy Kimmel proves that. Jimmy Kimmel, who does the Week in Unnecessary Censorship? I've watched it. I've seen it once on YouTube. Yeah, so I'm happy about that. I completely lost my train of thought as I'm thinking about all these other things I want to say. I was going to say that I should shoot video on 1 week and for Touching Gadgets, and then work throughout the week on editing it, rather than, because what happens when I start working all day one day, by midnight, I'm like, okay, well, I just have to make this one last change and it's ready to go, and I just want to finish it and push it out. So it's just it's by virtue of wanting to finish it that creates such an exhaustive experience in editing. Whereas if I shoot it over the weekend and then allow myself to work on it throughout the week, then by Saturday, actually Sunday night, it seemed like a pretty good night to post the video. Late Sunday night, as it were. But yes, Touching Gadgets done. The next episode, actually, what I'm doing is I've got on order a new microphone for the GoPro, and it's actually a pretty cool. It looked really interesting, and it was a nice little idea, specifically for the car cam, because I hate how these things sound, and I don't like the hassle of everything else. So this actually, it was $35, so it wasn't that expensive for what it is, but it's this little nub that just plugs right into the side of the camera. It comes with a windscreen on it, a big dead cat windscreen. I think it's gonna be, I have high hopes for it, so I'll probably get that this week and run it through its paces as quickly as possible, or over the next week and a half. And then the episode that I want to do, because I got that really cool camera from Alan. Thank you, Alan, again for making that available to me. It's this wonderful visual piece of art. Retro gear. It's going to be the first episode, well, no, I guess I need to form full thoughts before speaking, but then this wouldn't be half as interesting. So the next episode will be about the GoPro, and I think I can do that. I'm thinking, like, I'd love to do an episode about my main camera, SX40, but I can't shoot the SX40. I don't have a camera to shoot it with. But since I'm shooting with the SX40, since I don't shoot Touching Gadgets with the GoPro, then I can actually do an episode of Touching Gadgets with the GoPro. Of course, I also have that backup GoPro at the office, but it's the first gen Hero HD Hero, so it's not as good as this one, the Hero 2. Anyway, the episode of Touching Gadgets will be about the GoPro and how it is so functional as an everyday camera, as a production creative video camera. So there will be clips of like webcams, Vegapocalypse, all this kind of stuff that I've used the camera for, that it's not designed for. The GoPro is literally designed to be an action cam. It was originally built, for being mounted on a car or outside of a car, on your, BMX, snowboarding, that kind of surfing, underwater, that really sort of sports cam. But I just love the functionality of it and the video from it so much that I use it in a much more practical sense. Does that make sense? Use it more as a regular camera. And it was actually really great in Vegas. That's another video I need to work on at some point. So yes, I will. The video is going to be about the GoPro, which again I think is going to be a really good installment of touching gadgets for views and whatnot. But also, this episode will bring in a lot more, bring a new opinion to the table. I haven't really looked for many videos about using the GoPro as an everyday camera, but I think it is a unique opinion, and it'll be a unique statement, unique viewpoint for a GoPro review video. And then I will bring in Alan's old camera for the. I keep saying Alan's old camera. It's not his camera. He sold it for somebody else. But the retro camera, because that's what's the point of touching gadgets if I don't compare modern technology with something that it shouldn't be compared to. So an old 35mm brick of a camera. It'd be awesome. So yes, that's what's on tap. That's how it starts, and I'll just write a script at some point when I have some free time and I have the ideas in my head, and then I will record the audio one day, then I'll start editing the audio, and then I will start. The audio is also a little flat. I'm going to try something different. I don't know what for the next Touching Gadgets audio, but I need to do better with that, pretty much. Not sure how, but I will. Anyway, moving right along, because I'm wasting a lot of time here, and I don't have a lot of time to waste, so I'm going to waste even more talking about how I'm wasting time. This is brilliant, Crumbite. I'm not pissed about this, but I am irritated. But I also know that I'm not as mad as I used to be. There's a new commercial for the Audi store. I think I talked about this previously. The Audi store. Yeah, I did. I talked about the final. I have a final cut on the Audi commercial. My final cut on the Audi commercial, and send it out to everybody in marketing. And best video ever. Really groovy. Like it. Aside from a gap in the between the cars in the car lot, which I have absolutely nothing to do with. And then the boss says, "I love it. Now change everything about it." Literally. So I'm really, I saw that over the weekend, which probably wasn't a smart thing to do, but I was curious. So I'm irritated by that, knowing that basically I have to throw out the entire original cut of the video. And I watched it a shit ton of times this weekend, and I do like it. I like it more and more. The more that I watch it, the more I like it. And I would like to see it on TV. Is it a super high quality professional local commercial? No, but it is a lot better than most of them out there. So who knows? Yeah, I'm irritated by that, but what are you gonna do? Not much I can do. So well, more importantly is that the interesting thing is that I don't really care. I'm irritated, but I don't really care. I'm going to eventually find time to recut the video. It's going to be a boring fucking commercial that's uninspired. You know, the point of the whole webcams. Advertisers have a responsibility. I tried to deliver on that responsibility with something, and, it gets thrown out. It is literally what happens in that video in webcams. Exactly what happens in webcams. So I did my due diligence. I have something for my portfolio. And what goes on television, I guarantee, will just be the same run-of-the-mill boring bullshit. So that's the industry I work in. That's just how it goes. But that's also happening at a time when Touching Gadgets is done, and I've got 4 episodes out there that are just going to be driving ad revenue and building this audience of 71 new people and counting. It's growing, and there's something happening there, and it's really positive. I finally finished Chris's video. Finally, again, I apologize for being an ass on that. The Magpie Girl video, that's touch and go. The video was finished. It just wasn't as good as... She was a lot long form than I was hoping. The video cut together, it's not there yet, and it really is about presentation on her end. I cut 2 versions of her video. I cut the long version, which I figured she would want, and then I took a lot of liberties in cutting things down and tightening it up, and I cut about 2 minutes off of it. And then I just gave it to her, and I said, you know, long and short version, whichever one you want to go with. I also feel like I'm a little handicapped because she hasn't given me all the resources she wants to use in her titles, so we haven't completed the title sequence the way it needs to be completed. And again, I haven't actually had time for that. But I don't think that this, you know, this first episode out, episode 4 of Magpie Girl, isn't going to be the huge change. I don't think people are gonna really notice the change. And I don't think it's going to, I still don't think it's going to connect with people. And I'm looking back at our other videos, and I see the views, and I see the comments. They're not connecting with people. So I need to really, it's going to be more of a producer thing, and talking to her and kind of pushing her in the right direction. And maybe we can't do it. Maybe we can't. And that would be fine too, because, you know, they all can't be a success story. I really gotta go. Yeah. So, stay tuned, stay creative. Ciao.